Hello everyone and welcome to our little Friday chat. We've still not got a name for it yet, have we?
I think this week we'll need to come up with a name. I think as part of Monday morning's meeting, there needs to be a name.
First on the agenda, name.
Name, yeah.
But yes, we've been busy again, like always, so we've got some bits and bobs to chat to you about. But first, we would like to chat about something that's quite exciting. So we have had our Jaguar E-Type go live today.
Yeah, about an hour ago.
About an hour ago. So if you're on the mailing list, you will have got it yesterday. But it's gone live to the rest of the world today, which is very exciting.
The rest of mainland UK.
Mainland UK today. But yeah, it's such an iconic car. It really is. Whenever we've had an E-Type in the workshop or we've done one for competition, people have just been kind of bowled over with them. They're just beautiful, aren't they?
And I think this one is really special because I think the price point is really special. We've really thought about this one where we've done E-Types in the past at £15-20 and they've worked really well. We sort of thought, let's rein it in and do something a little bit different, which should hopefully appeal to a lot more people. And the E-Type is one of those cars that should appeal to a lot more people. So,
and I think that's it. The £5 price point for the ticket means a lot more people who would never be able to have an E-Type or a classic car, you know. Hopefully that opens up the icon to more people.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting. We've had some comments on our post. So we did a little sneaky post a couple of days ago showing that we're having a release of our E-Type, and Nick did a beautiful video, which you can probably see on our YouTube channel. And someone commented this about our particular one. So they said, beautiful car, but I'd have to get rid of the aerial. That was Pete who said that. Now, I really love the shape of the E-Type that we've got at the moment, not the Roadster version with the hardtop. I absolutely love the hardtop, but there's some people who prefer it in a different way, isn't it? Like, so you've got the Roadster. How do you guys
well, you've
prefer
got the
2
2+2 as well.
Oh, that's
so
our 2+2,
it's slightly higher and
longer.
Then there's lower and longer. There's a lot of different variations. It's probably the most iconic classic car. The E-Type's always been one of the most iconic classic cars.
Yeah.
I personally think that the Roadster is the one. I like the Roadster. I do like the Roadster. I don't not like these, but I think the Roadster is such a stunning car. But you're not as keen on the Roadster.
No, I don't know what it is. I think it's just because it's so. But this could be an argument from both sides. The car is so long that when it doesn't have a roof, I feel like it's just like a long.
Yes. It's got such a huge bonnet.
Yes, such a huge bonnet, but I really quite like the kind of almost little bubble at the top, which is the cabin, and then into the long bonnet. I just really love the shape of it, and I do have to say, I know it's our one at the moment, and it's going to be someone else's very soon, but the green colour of this one with the cream interior, and I love the fact that when you're in it, you're kind of surrounded by it, whereas in a Roadster, I guess you've got the open road and you've got the sky and everything above you as well, but I just love being in that compact space, but it being glorious.
It does feel like a little race car.
Yes.
An E-Type.
Yeah, but how do you feel about E-Types?
Well, obviously I like E-Types, everyone likes E-Types, but you know, there's the whole thing of Enzo Ferrari saying it's the most beautiful car in the world. I think it's a very beautiful car, but I don't necessarily... I've never thought it's the most beautiful car.
Okay.
For whatever that's worth, you know. I think for me, something like the DB5, I'd say is probably.
Would you? Okay.
Yeah. I think part of that is probably the coolness from James Bond and everything else. Yeah. But I mean, there's no denying the E-Type is a beautiful car. But yeah, I think for me, it's probably not the most beautiful.
Yeah.
But then. I mean, we see a lot of them. We probably have 2 or 3 E-Types in the workshops at any one time. Yeah. But everyone who comes in, young, old, it's always the E-Type that draws their attention.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know, for me, something like the DB5, I like some more of the modern Astons as well, but I think if there was DB5 and an E-Type next to each other, and I had to choose which one looked better, I'd say the DB5.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Tell us what you guys think at home. Comment along and let us know. Do you think that the Jaguar is the most iconic and most beautiful classic car? Or do you prefer something different? See, I love the Jaguar E-Type, and I would never, if someone said, Molly, here you go, here's the Jaguar E-Type, I would never, ever, 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 ever turn it down because it's stunning. But I much prefer driving, and like I would love to own something that's a bit more quirky. Like I love the Minis, and I love the Austin Healey's. I love those kind of quirky cars, but that's just my taste.
But I think, as you say, with this E-Type, we've had a lot in. We built the orange one ourselves. I liked the orange colour. It was a McLaren colour. But I think this one is so striking. And even when we didn't own this, and the previous owner, we've known about this car for a long time. There's something about this car.
It is.
And that's why we were so excited when we got given the opportunity to have it as a competition car, to take it. They're not cheap cars. They're nice to maintain. That's the thing. You can take it to your local garage and it's easily maintainable. But there's something about this car and the colour and everything like that that just makes it probably one of the best we have in.
Definitely, and E-Type seems so reliable as well, because they seem to go on a lot of road trips and
Absolutely.
adventures like Jazz has been. Where did she go before?
Yeah, so it was 1,000 miles across Spain.
There you go. The previous owner, before us owning it, took it on the road trip all around
And that
Spain.
was fairly recently. It's probably one of the last drives they did in the car before we bought it.
And the other red E-Type, the Roadster that
France.
Darcy won.
Yeah,
Went
that did a road trip in France. We look after a green one that does Goodwood. It races at Goodwood and it travels to Goodwood every year for the members and the revival.
Yeah.
They're an iconic car that do get used a lot.
They really
And there's a lot
are.
of race cars. When I went to Goodwood a couple of weeks ago, a lot of the cars, the one I always look out for is Cut 7. I always notice the registration Cut 7. It's a very iconic E-Type, and that's always racing at Goodwood. But yeah, quite a lot of them seem to do the track there.
Yeah.
Something about those cars.
They are very cool. They are very cool. Well, we actually went on a little road trip, and not that long ago, last weekend, to Beauleiu. We went to the International Autojumble. It was a fantastic day. Very busy, very full on, a very long road trip. I think it took us about 4.5 hours to get there, but it was such a fun day. It was a really interesting day, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was definitely a lot there to see. We spent a long time in the museum.
Yeah.
I know we went for the Autojumble, but there was just so much to see in the museum that it was hard to get over to the
museum
stalls.
was definitely my favourite part.
Yeah,
because it had like so many different sections of it. So you had you came in and there was lots of different classics all like surrounding you on the walls basically. It was really kind of like overwhelmingly like massive and really cool. And then you kind of went into an antique section where there was lots of really, really old cars, which reminded me of our Riley. And we saw the electric car from 1901, which was brought for Queen Alexandra to have in her Sandringham house in Norfolk, which is not far from here.
I think what I found is that we're obviously around classic cars every day, and particularly things like the Riley and like the SS100, so cars that you probably wouldn't see anywhere else. But walking in there, I think all of us were like, "Oh wow, there's some really special
I watched the video,
cars
but
here."
I felt like I'd missed out.
Yeah.
You know, I knew I didn't get to go to this one, and I felt a bit guilty all day that I weren't there to help out. But then when I watched the video, I actually thought I didn't realise it was as good.
Yeah.
It looked as good as that.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, and I'd never been before until last week, and I wasn't sure what to expect. You know, I've obviously read about the museum and things, but like I said, walking in there, it just hits you like how important
Each and
those
every
cars
cars
are in one place. And it's it was a really, really impressive thing
It was
to
really
see.
cool. What was lots of fun as well is it had a lot of interactive exhibits as well.
Yes,
and
you
I love
enjoyed
stuff
those,
like
yeah.
that. So you could like get into cars, you could pretend to drive cars. They had a lot of kind of electrical stuff as well, where you could see pictures of people working on the cars.
It's kind of nice that you get to go in them, because in a lot of places you can't.
Well, there's only certain
But
ones.
even still, some. I mean, the bit in the video where you're on the bike,
Yeah.
and then you're in something else. And I kind of thought that's nice that they
Well,
allow you to do that.
I think as well, so like the auction with Bonhams, they had all of their cars out on display. Obviously, they had all the signs saying "Do not touch" and things,
Yeah.
but you could get right
You
up
could
to the
get- yeah.
cars and see, and some of them were really, really,
Really posh.
yeah, really nice cars, and just to see them up close, it was really
Yeah.
good just to be able to
Yeah.
walk around them and take photos up close to them.
Yeah, to be fair, Craig, I do think you missed out. There was
I
quite
will
a lot,
definitely
yeah.
go. Now I've seen the video, you sold it to me.
Yeah.
And what was cool as well is that they had the kind of Top Gear exhibit as well, which was quite
Yeah.
kind of fitting with
Yeah.
the last ever Grand Tour and things like that. So we had a little look round there, brought back some memories. But then as well, the Autojumble, which was massive.
Right.
Absolutely massive.
I feel like we probably
We
walked
just scra- I
round.
think we just scratched the surface,
Because
really.
every time I went down the next row of stalls, I was like, oh, we must be getting to the end. And then you get
Yeah.
to the end and you're just thinking, this goes on
on and on and
on and on forever.
So-
There's a
so
lot
much.
of things there.
Almost like you didn't know where to look, and you'd look at one store and you think, oh, these things are really cool, and then you'd go to another store where things were kind of similar, because
Yeah.
they would be, but then you'd like try and find the little treasures. So I actually did, which you'll see on the video, which we've just seen actually, that I asked the guys to do a little task and grab something for the Classic Lounge. We've got the lovely bits here.
Lovely.
So-
See ya.
It was it was so stressful watching these guys shop. Now I absolutely love it, and I don't know if it's a kind of a man thing in the way you guys shop, but I like to look at everything. I cannot help myself. I get very excited, and I'm like, oh, I bet there's some treasure hiding on this table. Whereas these guys are like walking along, done.
But did you
Done.
were you quite decisive? Because like when I go into a shop, I'll be like, I'm just going to go to the next one, and then I can come back.
I felt like they had no idea what they were looking for.
No,
both of
so
them.
I think the only thing, and as you,
can
saw,
tell. Yeah, you can tell.
I'll explain why I chose this. So as you saw in the video, the only thing I had in my mind is Craig said, in jest, but also serious, I don't want a giant Michelin Man for the Classic
There
Lounge.
were some
Which
really
probably
cool
would
ones
have
of
been
those.
better. To be fair.
But so I saw this steering wheel, which I thought could make a nice tray. Or if you put some perspex
But
over
what
it, a
Rob
nice
probably
stand.
hasn't thought is we have a container that probably has about 30 of these
Yes,
in.
but
that we
this
can't
is
sell.
one.
Oh, it's a special edition though,
This
isn't it?
is one, yes. So this isn't from any particular car manufacturer. They were popular in the 60s and 70s. It's aftermarket, and they were most likely, probably, used in MGBs, Triumph Spitfires, that type of thing.
Right.
Quite racing.
Yeah.
And because we do a lot of MGs, that's why you got it, because you thought
Yeah,
Triumph MG.
and it's got 100 written on it, and obviously it's the 100th anniversary of MG this year. So all of these things came together and drew me into this.
Yeah.
And then as a little bonus, which really sold it to me, the guy threw this in for free.
And
Little
you love a
Rolls Royce
mirror,
mirror.
don't you?
Yeah, I do. Love a
do
mirror,
love a
love a
mirror.
Rolls Royce, and this is a Rolls Royce mirror. So yeah, that was my.
You did pretty well, really, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got two things for the price of one there.
Yeah, and there's no
And
way.
the price, you say the price of one? So what was the challenge? How much did they have to spend?
Well, I didn't give them a price.
So this was 4,000.
So I basically said, I basically said, choose something lovely for the Classic Lounge,
steering wheel.
and
Zero.
this is what
Mirror.
this is the lovely item.
So
that,
the
what
grand
was collected.
total that you bought these two things for was £20,
Right.
British pounds.
Brilliant.
So
But yeah,
And the perspex we'll need to buy for the top.
yeah.
yeah.
And moving on to Nick's choice.
None of that's
Okay, so
It
yes.
sort of came and then he was like, oh, well, you need to get a frame.
So yes, the next choice is down here. So it is a Bonhams poster, and the reason that he decided to get this poster is not because Molly went, oh, there's a nice poster there, Nick. What about that? It may have been that. And then he went, oh, actually, it is really cool because it is the car at the time that sold for the most at auction. I believe I've got that right. And it says £19 million
Which
and commission.
nowadays there's probably not much at
I've never been to an
high-end
auction when they sell for 19 million. So I'd still be pretty impressed.
I
if
mean,
saw
it is a high number.
Yeah.
But I think there was a Ferrari GTO that sold for like 120 million recently.
I remember going to an auction once though, and they were talking. Each car was $1 million or a couple of million.
Yeah.
And it's when you're standing in. I know we're going off piste a little bit. When you're standing in a room
Yeah.
with people that are going million, million and a half, 2 million, you're thinking, whoa.
Don't accidentally put your
Wow.
hand up or sneeze or
So
anything.
£20.
£20
bargain. You got part of the car.
And how much was the?
£15 with frame, yet the frame needs a bit of work.
And
so
in front of it, I'm thinking needs a bit of work, or is that the
yeah,
perspex?
that's just plastic, I think.
Okay,
yeah.
that's good then. It's not.
Yeah,
the-
so it probably needs a proper whole frame.
Yeah.
But it's a lovely picture. It's original.
What original? What's original?
Original poster.
It isn't.
It is.
Original poster.
Yeah, from the actual.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a
Auction.
poster from somewhere.
Yeah.
But
It's not the original photo.
Oh no, it's not the
Whereas
original photo.
this, I come back to it, is an
original
original
aftermarket.
steering wheel that you probably saw in an MGB or Triumph Spitfire.
But there we go. There was one thing that we absolutely loved the Autojumble. It was so cool. I didn't realise the actual. I think this is a bargain because a lot of the stuff was.
do you want to buy it?
I'm all right, but a lot of the stuff was very expensive, wasn't it?
It was, yes. I think a lot of the stuff there, I think it falls into one of two categories. It's very sentimental to the person who owns it,
Yeah.
which obviously increases the value to them. And also, I think there's a lot of stuff there that's really special.
Yeah.
That not everyone appreciates how
Exactly,
special it is.
yeah.
Yes.
Just like this. But
This
now
is-
we do.
Well, I don't appreciate just how special it is. You do. Yes.
Well, I was going to say I bought this for you, but you bought it.
Yeah.
But there you go. So steering wheel and Rolls Royce mirror.
But it is a tray.
It is a tray.
It'll be a
It can
tray
be
with
many
some
things.
drinks
It can
on.
be many things. But now it is a talking point for the Classic Lounge. So you could say it's priceless.
And also, I do think as well, one thing for about the museum is we should talk about the slug.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So
The Sunbeam 1000.
yes. So the museum are restoring it. So it was the first car to ever break 200 miles per hour.
Right.
And they're restoring it. So they're raising funds to restore it. So they want to take it back to Daytona Beach, and I want to say 2027 to
Right,
mark the
nice.
100-year anniversary of it going 200 miles per hour.
It's huge.
Huge.
It is huge. It's absolutely massive. I did not realise, because when you see it in pictures, I think I say this on the video, but when you see it in pictures, you don't realise actually how
Yeah.
massive it is. It is huge.
And it's being built there, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you saw
yeah.
the chassis, and then you went through into another section where they kind of had like some really, really fast, massive cars, and then the actual body was in there.
Nice.
But what I find,
That's good.
200 miles an hour was the land speed record back then.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know what it is.
than
Ridiculous.
that.
Yeah, a lot more
Yeah.
than that.
Kind of
but-
goes back to, well, that was 19 billion, the highest car
Billion?
at that time. 19 million.
Million.
The highest car sold in auction at that time. 200 miles an hour was the fastest at that time.
And I think that's the best thing about the museum. You see all of
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
from,
absolutely.
what was impressive then.
Yeah.
Is still impressive now, but in a different way to
Yeah,
how it was back
yeah.
then.
This is for the Frederique Constant watch. Here we go. I'm going to count down from 3. 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everyone. Number 2,669. We're nearly there. 2,669. Robert Hobbs. Okay, let's go for it. The live draw of our Ford Zephyr. I'm going to count down from 3 again. Good luck, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Number 164. Sorry, I went too far. 164. Sheila Toner. Sheila Toner, congratulations. You have just won yourself an absolutely stunning Ford Zephyr. Hello, is that Sheila Toner?
Yes.
Hi Sheila, it's Molly calling from Bridge Classic Cars. You have just won our 1959 Ford Zephyr.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness, that's brilliant. Right. Oh my goodness, I didn't even think that. I knew it was on today, but I didn't think. Right, okay.
There you go, congratulations! Congratulations to Sheila and Robert, our 2 winners of this week. But yeah, we've got some comments, haven't we, from our lovely viewers. So if you do ever have any comments or you want to just ask us some questions, please do drop it in the comment section below and hopefully we might be able to get to some of those next week. But yeah, so what have people been saying recently?
So I tried to look across a few of the platforms. So one of the comments we had on YouTube, so it's the video of you and Tony delivering the MGB.
Oh yes, to
So
Peter.
Peter, yes. And so someone called our trailer the trailer of happiness.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I thought that was quite nice.
That's so nice because then it brings happiness to the
Yeah.
winners when we release the door.
Yeah, the trailer.
It is
That's
a
the
really
nice
cool
thing about our
moment.
trailer. No, everyone
can't
looks because
see.
you don't know what's inside.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's massive as well, so it could potentially be anything inside.
And Tony often says, he says sometimes if you're stuck in traffic or caught at lights, people roll down the window and go, what have you got inside?
Yeah, yeah. So inside the trailer of happiness.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what we should call it now.
We do have to put new graphics on it. Maybe
Trailer of happiness.
trailer of happiness.
Where dreams
If
come
I-
true.
Trailer Swift.
Trailer Swift.
If
From behind the camera over
if
there.
I delete that comment, then we can just claim it.
Absolutely.
Trailer of happiness.
Ideas are free.
So going back to the E-Type that launched yesterday, a comment we got of that was, and I quote, "Oh sweet Jesus, a lifelong dream."
Oh wow.
So and that comes
Yeah.
back to that
It
recognisable,
is for so
many
people.
iconic
So many
car, yeah. Which I thought was really nice. Another one about the E-Type was it's a truly beautiful beast.
Oh, it is. It is. Especially, I feel like that colour as well. Like it's beautiful, but it's kind of got that kind of grittiness to it as well.
Imagine winning for a £5. Because that is what it is, a £5.
I know.
Mad.
I wish I could enter, but that'd be really awkward, wouldn't it?
It
Oh,
would
and the
be.
winner
Oh,
is
it's
me.
Again. And then the last one I was going to say was the one you said earlier about the aerial. On
The
the
aerial,
inside, that someone
yeah.
would take the aerial off, but yeah, I don't know. I guess the stereo wouldn't work if you do that.
Well, you can do an internal one, I suppose. I'm just looking at the car because
Isn't
over
it,
there.
I think.
To be
think
fair,
it's
I
that.
didn't.
It's
I
not
didn't
in your
notice
face,
it.
the area,
I didn't
no.
notice it until that gentleman
And
put the
now-
comment,
yes,
and now
that's it.
that's all I
Yeah.
can see.
So obviously modern cars have the aerial built sort of into the ceiling
Yeah.
cloth or something
Yeah.
like that, so you could do that, but then
But I feel like it just adds a bit of character to that
Yeah.
car.
Absolutely.
You know, like you don't. Although it's an E-Type and you want it to look as iconic as an E-Type, which it always will, you want your own car to have a little bit of character.
Yeah.
but if he wins it,
If he wins it, he can
do
change
that.
the
Can
area.
We can
do
do that
whatever
for
he
you if you
likes.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Because we are a restoration company
There you
too,
go.
just so you know. Just in case you've forgotten. But there we go. But thanks so much for watching us this Friday, everybody. We hope to see you all next week for a little bit more of a chat.